Hey guys, this is the XRP Cowboy. I'm enjoying a beautiful day. You've probably seen this, but I wanted to share the Moon Lambo.
XRP didn't have any utility. And oh my god, he snapped back. I mean, he snapped back instantly. Not in a rude way, but he came back with force. He's like, whoa, no. It was that type of demeanor. He's like, no. And then he just set this, and then he went on this whole rigmarole, and he was right, citing specifically why XRP is basically the most useful cryptocurrency in the entire space. And so I transcribed exactly what went down here. And I gotta tell you, like, I've seen a lot of enthusiastic CEOs talk about XRP, and for good reason. This, though, was like on a different level. Like the degree to which he was pushing back against nonsense and then asserting facts, proving that XRP actually has utility, and on national television. That's pretty freaking cool to see. I got to tell you that. It was just a pleasure. This is a fun one, so sit back. You're going to like this. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and Lambo. Just for fun. All right, so that's the man on the screen right here. That's the CEO. Here's the title. This is from Bitcoinist of all places. I just wanted to. I mean, all sorts of crypto media outlets were talking about this for good reason. It was the video clips are circulated on social media. Although none of them seem to be complete, so I'm going to share with you all of the parts. I kind of pieced them together. I'm going to share with you everything that matters. But the headline here, XRP is the coin with the most utility, says Tukrim CEO. That's a fantastic headline. From Bitcoinist of all places. Yeah, I'd love to see it. In an interview on Bloomberg Crypto with anchors Tim Stenovic and Katie Greifeld, the Tukrim Trading's chief executive officer, CEO, Sal Gilberti, argued that XRP is the crypto asset with the most utility in the entire space. Now let me do a minimal amount of table setting here because I want to make sure that you guys are aware of who this is. I've certainly talked about him on the channel, so this will be a nice refresher for you. Remember this headline from April 8th? This is from Cointelegraph. US to get its first XRP-based ETF launching on NYSE Arca. Asset manager Tukrim Investment Advisors is set to launch the first XRP-based exchange-traded fund in the U.S. markets, a leveraged XRP ETF on the NYSE Arca.
Throws a lot of information.
And so basically whatever the performance is for XRP over the given time period, if it's up, you get double that. If it's down, well, 2 times to the negative. And it is literally the first XRP ETF here, but it's leveraged. This is not a spot XRP ETF. We're still waiting for that to get approved, which I firmly believe will be coming almost certainly later this year, but it's coming regardless. And also this particular ETF not backed by XRP, and so this is not something I personally am interested in, but I am glad that it exists because other people who are not me want to use it, as is evidenced by the volume it ultimately saw. More on that in just 1 second. But what's very cool is to see that the types of investment vehicles in traditional finance around other assets, that's all being deployed within the XRP ecosystem now. This is all stuff that is just going to provide more excitement around XRP itself. So in that sense, it's unquestionably the net plus here. Let all these investment vehicles exist. Even investment vehicles that are designed to short XRP, let them do it. If people want to do it, yes. And it brings more interest in. And then if we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Just bring the interest into it. I'm all down for that. And this thing performed well right out the gate, not surprisingly. Here we have the April 9th headline. First XRP ETF in U.S. racks up $5 million on debut in Tukrim's most successful launch. Isn't that wild? Take a look at this. Tukrim Investment Advisors 2x long daily XRP exchange-traded fund. The ticker symbol is XXRP. That's not a typo. That's their ticker symbol for this. The first leveraged XRP product in the U.S. racked up $5 million in trading volume on its Tuesday debut, becoming one of the company's most successful introductions and posting a top 5% performance for a new ETF. Now, folks, that's a top 5% performer for a new ETF, not just from them, but out of all new ETFs. That's how big this thing was.
We're going to have 12, 13
show you
ETF
that there's
filings.
Ridiculous interest for XRP all over.
We're going to buy $8 billion.
Very obviously, XRP is an early winner in the crypto space. And it's just nice to see all of this developed. So here's how this conversation went down. So out of the two hosts, which were listed here, I already named them a couple minutes ago. The one that was pushing back, asserting that XRP didn't have utility, that was Katie Greifeld. Now, she also conflated Ripple with XRP, so no offense on a personal level to her, but let's just say she clearly does not know a damn thing about XRP. She does not know what she's talking about. Somebody probably told her some stuff, toxic Bitcoin maxis. What do you mean? It doesn't do anything. You can just speculate with it. And that's basically what she said here.
I like Bitcoin.
And so here was the quote from Katie.
I love XRP.
And the rest of what you hear here, I
like anything
transcribed this all
money.
myself here.
My dreamers, my
She said,
loans.
the only use case for Ripple and some of these other tokens out there is speculation. Now, folks, that's a direct quote. Again, she called XRP Ripple. I'm just read it as she stated it. And Sal Gilberti, the guy on the screen right here, this is where he jumped in and he set the record straight. He said, okay, so XRP, that's absolutely not the case. You can speculate on it because it's out there and trading, but XRP, they started Ripple, and I'm not going to speak for them, okay, but they started Ripple to facilitate transactions moving money around. But now it's literally helping tokenize everything as they develop their level 2 build out. They are really going to tokenize everything. They just bought a broker-dealer clearing member, as you may know, and I think that's the first step of integrating traditional finance with DeFi. And I'm telling you, this is a breakthrough. Folks, this is not just you and me. I think XRP makes sense. And of course, what he's referencing there is the purchase of Hidden Road, which I believe went for like $1.2 or $1.25 billion, massive purchase. And basically what they're going to do is tokenize a bunch of stuff on the XRP ledger and use the ledger to actually facilitate the clearing of all of the transactions that they do, which is trillions of dollars of transactions. And that's real world utility on the XRP ledger. And so what part of what he's referencing here is the tokenization. It not just is it going to happen, it has happened. It exists. Tons of stuff has been tokenized on the XRP ledger, and not just meme coins. Okay, definitely not just meme coins. Money market funds, T-bills, real world assets. They're already on the XRP ledger. It's been exciting to see all of this unfold. And most people on the planet have no idea that this is happening right here. Now, the cool thing is XRP itself is required for the transactions of all of this stuff on the XRP ledger. It is a privileged position. And so as we get more and more adoption of these assets tokenized on the XRP ledger, that just further cements the long-term viability and adoption of XRP itself. And all of that is on top of what Ripple is doing in positioning XRP as a bridge currency, which he also sort of briefly mentioned. He just noted that Ripple is doing stuff as far as cross-border payments and transactions here. It's not just internet folks like you and I want to get that through. It is people